Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and today's reading is going to be for you if you are single and looking for love. So I've laid out my usual spread and we will go straight to the bottom of the deck and have a look there. And we have got the Eight of Cups. So this is a card of retreating or leaving. Could be a card of leaving an old way behind. Could be that a pattern you've been in for a while has left you single and you're leaving that way of thinking. Actually, let's take the bottom one under. Let's take the bottom two. Right. So we've got the Eight of Cups and the Four of Coins. So it could be that you are leaving an old way of thinking behind, or an old style of being, really. The Eight of Cups is a card of retreating. For me, it feels like leaving more than retreating. And the Four of Coins it's sort of the minor arcana of pride. So it's leaving behind things that have not been serving you, or an old way of viewing things, or an old style of operating. Perhaps you were only interested in certain types of people before and now you're having to leave that idea behind. Perhaps it means that you're going to be more open to and more expansive types of people. Perhaps, I'm not quite sure. It's something you're leaving an old way behind. Let's take a clarifier for that. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Eight of Cups and the Four of Coins. Can we have a clarifier for that? By the way, you've got some, oh, lovely, really good looking cards here for this reading. It's quite exciting. Right, the Empress, yeah. I think it's exactly what I was just saying. You're having to leave an old style of thinking or operating or behaving or being behind. So leaving some old ideals behind. Maybe in the past you had a list of what you were looking for and you're having to leave those old ideals behind. Perhaps there isn't anybody that's ideal and you're more open to actually whatever is going to feel right rather than what was on your list. But in terms of looking for love, maybe you're looking in a more expansive way. If you're embodying I would say that the Four of Coins and the Empress are opposite energies. So I think you're leaving behind an old way of thinking or operating, and you're coming into a better, more feminine energy. If you're a masculine watching this, don't be put off by that. The Empress is really the best essence of yourself, if you like. You've reduced some of your old thoughts and actions and ideas, and you're in a much better, the essence of you is better. So there's something about ideas, ideals and essence here. In essence, you're in your best energy. You're moving away from old ideas, ideals, situation, thoughts behind, and stepping into a much more positive energy, which is good for you. Actually, this is all about knowing your own worth, being comfortable with who you are, and looking out for what you believe is going to be right for you. Yeah, really good. Actually, that's a lovely way to start. I'm very happy with that. In the centre, well, this is interesting, we have the Ace of Wands. The aces are divinely presented, so you're being given something. You're being gifted a new chance, perhaps. The Ace of Wands is creativity, dynamic energy. It's power, really. You're being gifted power. You're being gifted your best power. This is you in your best energy. I think you really, it seems to me that you may have really harnessed some new energy. It feels like you are very powerful. It does. So actually it feels a little bit like you need to run with this powerful energy while you're in, I'm getting her back again. While you're in your best energy, you need to run with it, and I suppose make sure that you are open to every possibility, because this is divinely presented. So what that means is you're being given a new chance at love, is what it feels like. And I think you're going to be feeling differently about how you look for love. Something has changed. You're leaving an old way behind, and the new way is powerful and much, much better aligned for you and better suited for you to find the right person. Powerful Empress energy is what I want to say. What's crossing this, so this is the dynamic start, and you're not, well, you're ready for the dynamic start, you're not actually going yet, and that's because you've been in some sort of perpetual motion or possibly a 2-year phase. In fact, you could be leaving behind a phase that has been between 2 and 4 years, possibly, or a 2-year phase behind. I think you're just coming out of a phase of not having found what you wanted. I think you're having to reassess, reevaluate. You've worked out what does and doesn't work for you, and you are now ready to progress in a slightly different way forward. It feels like you might have been doing, but it feels like you might have been in the old energy for quite a long time, because this is perpetual motion, you know, like this is going on and on and on and on and on. And it might feel like you hadn't been achieving anything for a long time in terms of looking for love. But now you've got this new energy at your fingertips. So it's time to release the old thoughts, get rid of that 2-year cycle. Let's take a clarifier. Should we just take the top one? Yep, the people that you were dealing with in the past were not good for you. They caused you a lot of upset. There was interference. There were possibly too many options, and none of them were good. I think it sort of clouded your judgment. It meant that you couldn't see the wood for the trees. You didn't know who was good and who was bad. And in the end, they were all bad. That's what it feels like. In the last couple of years, you might have tested out loads of different options and they all ended up being awful. And so you've had to have a rethink, and you're coming at this from an entirely different energy now. Yeah, I think so. Let's have one more. Oh, yeah. Yeah, much better. Much, much better energy. So leaving behind people that frankly weren't good enough and created problems. Now this is much, much, much more promising. Waiting for somebody who actually has your best intentions at heart. Somebody who actually is going to offer you a cup of love. Not somebody who's going to bring you a lot of problems, which you might have been dealing with in the last couple of years. Maybe longer. Yeah, lovely. Right, that's great. Okay, what's on the face of it? Yes, it's just what I was just saying. You are looking for something much more balanced. You are looking for something reciprocal. You are looking now for somebody who is going to approach you the right way, with the right ideas, with the right intentions, and somebody who is going to love you the way that you can love them. Yeah. Reciprocal energy. You're ready to share your life with somebody properly, but only if they're going to give as good as you do. I think in the past the balance has been off. I think maybe you put more effort in the past, and that's how you ended up with people who weren't good enough. I think now you're ready for somebody to actually come and show you that they are serious. I think so. What's underneath? So that's what's obvious. What's not so obvious is that you're planning, which is great. You've been guided to plan, to find a soulmate. This is very good. This could also be somebody you've been connected with in the past. This has links in childhood. So it could be a childhood friend or an old, maybe it could be an old boyfriend or girlfriend, something like that. But you're being guided in that direction. The Chariot is the card of getting ready for movement. It's not actually moving, but it's very much a guided energy, like the Ace of Wands, guided. You're being guided towards something that is much sweeter and something that is more reciprocal. Yeah. Now, what's not so good is that we have the Five of Swords here. Five of Swords, it can be a battle. I mean, fives are never good. We've already got the Five of Wands, and now we've got the Five of Swords. So I think it feels to me like you might have been battling with yourself or with ideas of who's right for you. I think maybe you might have been dealing with people who weren't good enough, but you chose that. And in a way, I often read the Five of Swords as a 2 and a 3, and that is choosing heartbreak. So you chose to put yourself in situations that were never going to work for you. You're now in a much better energy. I feel like saying you chose it intentionally, which is a very odd thing to say. Why would you choose heartbreak? Putting yourself through the ringer with people who weren't good enough. Planning. Guided towards planning for something better and sweeter that is not going to cause you heartbreak, I think. I think that's what that is. Shall we have one more? Actually, do you know what? Now I'm looking at this, it could be that you actually didn't know yourself, and that's exactly it. So this is your intuition, had you been tapping into it, would have told you that you were choosing the wrong types of people, and all they were going to do was ultimately give you heartbreak. So if you had been better attuned with yourself, you would have realised that in the past, all these people that you have been trying to make fit were not right for you. You can't make somebody fit your criteria and expect them to offer a cup of love. It doesn't go like that. And I think on one level you knew this, on another level you did not want to face this, but something has changed and you are leaving this energy in the past and you are in a much, much, much better new phase where you want reciprocal energy. You want the actual firm love offer. You want somebody to come in who's going to look after you and sweep you off your feet in a good way. I think so. I think you did know all this. On one level, you did know all this. On another level, you didn't want it. I don't know why, though. Don't know why you'd want to put yourself through heartbreak and choose it. I think, you know, the High Priestess is guided. The Chariot is guided. I think you've been guided for a while towards something that is a much sweeter connection that you can build a future with. That's what you've been guided towards. Now, for whatever reason, you have not been following the guidance and you've been in a phase where you've been trying to make the wrong people fit. And all you've ended up with is problems. And I think it's been going on for at least 2 years that you've been in this cycle where people have not been good enough, might have caused you to behave in ways that you wouldn't normally. You might have ended up doing things that you wouldn't normally do. I feel like you've been dealing with people who really have brought out the worst in you, in a way. And that is something that you chose in the past because for some reason you were not able to tap into your intuition in a good enough way. It was there all the while. I think you knew it. On one level you knew it, that you were never going to be able to build a future with any of these people, and yet you kept trying to make the wrong people fit. Well, that phase is ended and I'm delighted that has ended. I'm really, really pleased. Because, you know, these are the two most powerful feminine energies in the deck, and you've got both working for you now. Your best energy and essence and your best intuition. And if you can merge those two together, then you are going to find the reciprocal energy that you want, and the true love is going to appear. I believe so. In the past, you were offered a new start. You were maybe even offered an engagement and a new home. I feel like you had what you wanted in the past. And you know what? We'll go straight to the future. You've got what you want in the future as well. It's just that your present has been tricky. There's nothing wrong with this card, but that's in your past position. Let's see, why do we have the Ace of Pentacles in the past position? I've got 2 here. 3 of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. That's looking further afield, and that is waiting for somebody who's very slow moving to come in. Let's try and read these 3 together. Could be that in the past somebody made an offer. Somebody made a genuine offer and you turned it down because it wasn't big enough for you. I mean, look at the difference in the size of the pentacles here. The knight who was offering you something, it just didn't appeal to you. And it could even have been that he was offering you something valid and of value, but you just didn't see it. It wasn't what you wanted. I think, and this is, you know, this is where this card comes in. You were very, very determinedly knowing what you did and didn't want, knowing who you did and didn't want. And if that person was not on your list, regardless of whether they were a good person, whether they had something valid to offer, regardless of that, if they were not on your list, you were not accepting them. And so you've had to cast your net further afield, you've had to look out into the world, and you still haven't found anybody who has met up to your standards. That's a shame, isn't it? So whatever was on offer in the past, which should have been good enough, was not. But that's the past situation. And don't forget, you're in your Empress energy now. So you're leaving this determined idea of what you will and won't accept. You're leaving that in the past because you are now in your Empress energy. Yeah, good. And so those old ideals were not good enough. They no longer apply because actually now you're looking for somebody who's just going to be nice to you and love you. In the future, we have the Four of Wands. Well, this is the Twin Flame card. Doesn't have to talk about a twin flame though. Connection. It can talk about other types of connections. Don't forget we've got the soulmate connection down here as well. If it's not about a twin flame, then it is a celebration. And there's a partnership there. You're looking for somebody to be in partnership with, I believe. Oh, I say, big, big cards. Wheel of Fortune and the World. You are looking for somebody to be in partnership with, some reciprocal energy, somebody that you can build a future with, most definitely. The Wheel of Fortune is an energy that's just going to keep on rolling. So I believe this is relating to the Empress and your change of ideal, if you like, your new energy that you're in is going to bring about a fortunate change. The Wheel of Fortune will keep on rolling along regardless of what you do. So the change is coming in. And the world is also a change. And this talks about the world is more like a completion. So it's like you've completed a phase. You've finished one phase and you're leaving it behind. You've entered into a new phase. So although we were talking about the past and the present and the future, this all feels quite close together to me. I don't believe the Empress is in the past. I believe she's now. And I don't believe you're waiting for somebody for very long in the future either, because this is all the same energy. This is change and change. And the Chariot, you've already been getting ready for change. Your intuition has guided you this way towards a true connection from somebody with good intentions for a partnership and a shared reciprocal energy. So you're in a new phase, most definitely. And although these are clarifying the future position, what I believe they're talking about is that although you are now currently in your Empress energy, you have to stay in it. If you dip in and out, if you decide that actually you will go back to your old ways of messing about with people who are not good enough for you, or you will decide that whoever comes your way is not right for you, then you're going to delay things. You're going to delay the changes. And you don't want to delay the changes because the changes are going to be bringing in the partnership that you want in the future. So it's really important once you get into this Empress energy that you stay in it so that you can bring about the change that you want for the future, which is partnership. Things are moving in your favour. So even if it feels at first like trying to leave your old ideals behind you is very difficult, and that nobody is offering you anything that is worth having, whether it be somebody with material goods or somebody with love on offer. If you stay in your old energy here of thinking that nobody is good enough, then here is not going to happen. Because these cards, the Wheel of Fortune and the World, they are cyclical. The world is very much a cycle. So it's the end of one phase. It's the completion of a phase. Okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is the moving into a new phase. So those two cards are working together. You have completed a phase and you are now in your Empress energy, or you should be. The Empress energy of knowing what is good for you, knowing what you will and won't accept, and altering your ideals of the ideal partner, I believe, to bring yourself actually into partnership. I think so. In the personal position, we have the Lovers, yeah. So you've got to be careful. You don't want any nonsense and heartbreak, and you don't want people who are not good enough for you. This is what I was just saying, really. Got a lot of offers here. There's 2 knights on the table already. So just be careful that some of these negative energies don't creep back in. You must not let those people in. Let's have a clarifier. The Lovers can also be a Gemini. Well, not liking what's on offer. It's what I was saying before. When I was saying before that you had offers, you just rejected them because you didn't think they were good enough. And that's the same sort of thing. So just be careful that you get rid of that thought. It's no good going around thinking to yourself, no, there's nobody good around, because that shuts your eyes to the good within the people that are around. So it's a sort of a shift of in the mindset, not to just think to yourself, there's nothing on offer for me, because if you go into that energy, then you will not be bringing about partnership. And that will stay in the future, and it'll move further and further and further away from you. If you can't view things in a different, if you can't view things in your Empress energy and get rid of this, there's nobody around that's right for me. If you can't get rid of that feeling, then the future partnership card will just keep moving out of your reach, sadly. In the home position, we have the Sun, which is the best card in the deck. This is a card of joy and happiness and everything going right for you. So in your home environment, everything is great. I'm just wondering if I felt like saying but then, but I don't know why. Well, I was going to say but, it doesn't really feel like that. And that's true, because look, we've just got to clarify the Sun, we've got the Tower. Those are total opposite energies. So everything's great at home, apart from it doesn't feel like it's great. Possibly because you're single and you're not in partnership. That might be why. But you can win. You can beat this feeling. These feelings, these negative feelings that you have been dealing with that have kept you single, you can beat them. Okay, because this is the card of victory. So it hasn't got to feel like things are only good or they're only bad. It hasn't got to feel like that. Yeah, let's have another look. These are opposite energies, but I wonder if they are what is obvious on the face of it. Everything's fine at home, but actually everything feels terrible at home. I just don't tell anybody I feel terrible at home because I'm on my own. Maybe. Or things might have been difficult at home and you're coming into a much better phase. It could be that, because this could be a 6-week card. So it could be that you've had some difficulty at home and things are only just starting to feel okay again, possibly. And if they're not starting to be okay yet, they will be within the next 6 weeks. It could be that, because also we've got a 4-week here. So we could be in a 4 to 6 week situation here. An improvement in the next 4 to 6 weeks. It could be that. Or maybe, you know, maybe everything felt okay in the summer And now we're going into autumn, everything is feeling gloomy and like you haven't made enough progress at home that you should have, possibly. Could be that. I think let's take another one because I'm not... Ah, well, it could be, actually, I was just thinking this. If you've been going through something legal, if you're like having some sort of divorce or legal separation or something, it's going to go well. So it might feel like everything's okay at the moment, but you're worried for your immediate future because you're going through something financial. Then that will improve. That is going to be fine because you've got the victory card. And justice is also Libra season, so it could be that this month things are going to improve. Or even that you were fearing that something legal is going to happen and it's not. It actually might just go away. It's a feeling I had just then. Something actually might not happen after all. And so you can actually be fine at home. Yeah, potentially. In the hopes and fears position, we have the King of Pentacles, hoping for a financially secure masculine. Why not hope for that? Because, you know, in your end, I mean, the King of Pentacles is not the Emperor, but in my opinion, he's the closest to the Emperor. So you're looking for an even match. And we said that at the start. Somebody who can match your energy and come forward with a genuine offer. Yeah, and that's what you're hoping for, and that's absolutely fine. I don't need to clarify for that. The outcome is wishes coming true. Now, at the start, I said this is for single people who are looking for love. Now, if you're looking for love, your wishes are coming true. What's interesting is I took two other cards to go with this, and we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Now, if you're wishing for somebody to share your life with in an even way, then that wish is coming true. If you have been wishing to be fine on your own and happily single and with plenty of money and no cares and no worries, this is a great card to find out the outcome. However, it is a card of being single. So if you're wanting to be in partnership, essentially why we've then got the Seven of Cups. So this is a slightly confused energy, and I think perhaps that you could be slightly confused. On one level, you've been wishing for a partner to actually build a future with. That's one wish. Well, that is coming true. But along the way, maybe you've wished to be okay on your own. Perhaps you haven't felt okay on your own before. You know, these are similar energies. Nine of Pentacles and the Empress, they're similar. So maybe you've not felt okay on your own before. Maybe that's been difficult for you. Well, if that's the case, that wish has come true as well. I think there is some confusion here because it could be that you are now changing your mind over what it is you actually want, I believe. Maybe you've wanted to be in partnership for quite a long time and you've not found the right person. But then maybe now you're feeling better on your own. I think that could be a thing, actually. Let's get another clarifier at the outcome. It's the ending of a phase. It's putting down a burden, actually. So I think it is talking about leaving these negative types of people in the past. People who've caused you problems. So you should not be confused about this. This should be quite straightforward. They are not in your future. And your future is being fine on your own until you come into partnership. I think so. Let's see if there's anything else we need to know. Surveying your options, I think. Actually, instead of getting some more clarifiers for the outcome, let's have a clarifier for the King of Pentacles who is in the hopes and fears position. We're hoping for a financially stable man who can match your energy. Can you give us an idea on who that is coming in? So this card here could be talking about maybe trying to find people in a different way than what you've been doing. So maybe trying dating sites if you haven't done that, or stopping using dating sites if you have been doing that. I think change the way you've been looking is one thing I want to say there. Oh, yeah, you're worn out by this and feeling like you're stuck. I can see that. So we've got the 9 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the 8 of Swords. That's feeling like you're stuck and confused as to how to move things forward. That's feeling like you've run out of energy, and that's feeling like you've come to the end of the road with the situation, and the situation was being single and trying to find the right person moving forward. Well, you can find the right person because we've got partnership and you've got wishes coming true at the outcome. Empress, stay in her best energy. Messages. So you could be receiving a message from the type of man you want. Dark-haired man, financially stable, potentially. This is very much talking, this reading is very much talking about you staying in your best energy. And I think for some of you, you're going to dip in and out of it. I don't think you're going to find it easy to stay in your best Empress energy. I think if you can, I think your life will move on a lot quicker. Yeah, some of you are going to struggle to stay in this energy. And it could be that you're going to be receiving messages from the sorts of people who aren't any good for you. Some of you might struggle with that. And, you know, if they're... Yeah, sadly, I thought I'd just look at the bottom of the deck. I mean, the Empress and the Devil are definitely opposite energies. And this is to do with you not going to be finding it very easy to come out of the negative phase that you've been in. I think some of you will manage it. I think some of you will struggle. Also, the Devil could be a Capricorn, so it could be a Capricorn who's coming in. Ah, King of Cups. Could be a water sign man who's suddenly stepping up. Now he knows how he feels and he might be coming forward to make an offer. That's one possibility. The other possibility is that there is a dark-haired, financially secure man who is coming forward. If you've been wishing for him, then he is coming in his best energy. So that's 2 kings coming forward. We've left the knights in the past, really, and the kings are coming to the fore, which is good. I'm just slightly concerned that some of you have got some negative messages from undesirables that might throw you off your best balance, that you might be struggling, that you might struggle with, and they might throw you off your best balance. I think some of you might have that to deal with. It's a case of being able to tap into your intuition and to maintain your best ideas of what is good for you and what isn't, potentially. Anything else you can tell us about who's coming in? Oh, okay. Well, this is nice. This is reciprocal energy. This is a good pairing. So if you're a water sign queen and you've been dealing with a water sign king or a water sign knight who has not really been acting like a king, I think you might find there's a change coming forward, that he might actually be in better energy. That's a possibility. That's a nice pairing. And it could be that you've manifested that. Could be that you, well, not only wished for it, that you've actually made it come about. Well, that's nice. If that's the case. If that's the case, somebody is stepping up to be in their better energy. That's lovely. And that's also true, because there is the card of truth. So you've been manifesting a better life for yourself, and that is starting very, very soon. Yeah. So I'm very pleased about that. This reading is all about staying in your best energy. Continue to manifest what you want and the true love connection is going to come for you. Even if you're not in partnership, that will help to bring in reciprocal energy and the sort of love that you want in the future. So I think that's everything. No, it's not everything. I'm sorry. I do just feel like I need one more card. Yeah, now that's everything. So your wishes are coming true this month, but you need to harness, going right back to the start here, you need to harness your best energy. You've got the power this month. The Queen of Wands is a very dynamic queen. She is getting things done. You can make the changes that you need in order to bring in the relationship that you want in the future. You can harness that power this month and your wishes will come true. Wow, what a powerful reading. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energies more easily in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.